By the way, I'm Carla Nicole. I'm a single mother of 2 children, but I'm also a wisdom coach, and I'm dealing with a lot of this issue. Not just with my clients, but with my YouTubers that are supporting me. You know, just a lot of people are going through the problem of not having touch in their life. So their touch starvation is really prominent in relationships. I want to talk about this real quick, because when you're talking about being in a relationship and you're intimately involved with someone and you're sleeping together every night in the same bed and you're not touching, it's just very, very disturbing to me. Because here's the thing. When you're talking about being in an intimate relationship with someone that you decided, you and that person decided to be in an intimate relationship, and for some reason throughout the relationship, something went awry, something disconnected, something stopped happening, which 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you what that something is. And that something happens to be no more knowledge of each other. Just here to put you up on game. If you don't have knowledge of the lover you're with, 9 times out of 10, you're not touching each other anymore. Do you realize touch sexually, physically, intimately is the physical expression of how you feel about each other? I'm going to say it again. Sexual relation, intimacy, getting it in with each other is the physical expression of how you feel about each other. So if you two are feeling a certain way about each other, the expression sexually is going to be gravitating. It's going to be exciting. You can't get enough of each other. Because of why? Because you two really love to be with each other. So the problem is you're in a relationship with someone and you're laying back to back. You're not touching. But I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, there's no knowledge of each other. Let me tell you about how powerful knowledge is. Knowledge is powerful because of 2 reasons. Number 1, when you and your intimate lover go out to eat, as a prime example, you go out to eat, right? And your lover is like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. And they go to the bathroom. You'd be like, no problem. I got you. And you can just read off to the waitress exactly what your lover wants. That's knowledge. You know. And so when your mate comes back, be like, hey, babe, whoo, I had to go. So anyway, no problem, babe. I got you. I told him you wanted your CC. You wanted your salmon cooked. You wanted your salad. You wanted it with ranch dressing, a sample of it on the side. I gave him all that. You are good. I covered you. Let me explain something to you. When you're talking about being intimate or in a relationship with someone, a lot of times we talk about engagement when we're married, right? Oh, we're getting engaged or engagement. You should be engaging all the time. But in that engagement, why is engagement so important? Because it's important because there's a knowledge of each other. The knowledge of understanding. Understanding, I know my mate needs this. I know my mate wants that. I know my mate. I know my mate. I know my mate. When you know, there's a understanding of each other. So I don't have to, listen, I don't have to ask you what you want for your birthday. I don't have to get a card to tell you how I feel. I just write it because I know what you understand me to feel. Because I can convey it to you in the understanding because I know how you receive it. That is knowledge. So many people are in sexless relationships. They're not intimate. They're not together. They don't understand or love each other. Why? It's not necessarily because they're unattracted. It's not that. It's not the fact that the person or the people they're in a relationship with is just disconnected. Let me tell you what it is. There's no knowledge of each other. Listen to me. When you're talking about sex, right? Sex is a very motion moving, exciting engagement. So when you're sexing or sexual, there is a rhythm. Just like when you're dancing, there's a rhythm. There's an in and out. There's an explosion. There is a in and out. There's an exchange, a give and take, right? That goes, listen, the sex act at the end of the night or in the time that y'all have it is the expression of how you two feel about each other. How are so many people not having sex? How many people are sexless? They've been married for 10, 20 years and they don't want to be intimate no more. Why is that? There's no more knowledge, man. When you pull out your knowledge of that lover, you're pulling out your intimacy. The mind is what drives the sex and the intimacy. So if you're not intimately enjoying each other, what do you think the sex is going to look like? It's going to be non-existent, right? It's not even going to be happening because there's no excitement about each other. So what happens? We're miserable, right? What do we really need sexually? Do we even know? I mean, it sounds good. I mean, we can all say, I want it every day, or I want it this time, I want it that time. But have you really took note of what your drive really is telling you? When's the last time you did a sex journal? Have you ever done one? Have you ever sought out to understand what your drive really is asking you to do? Because our sex drive tells a lot about who we are, what it is we need. F what other people tell you you should and shouldn't do, or, oh, you shouldn't have it that much, or, oh, you don't have it enough. Hold up. Everybody's drive is different. So how you going to tell me if my drive is normal or abnormal? I might just be who I am. Not my problem you can't keep up with me. Look, don't kill the messenger. I'm just saying. I don't do this for nothing. I'm a wisdom coach. I'm helping gentlemen and women out here all the time, encouraging them, inspiring them to embrace your sexual truth.